Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
It's really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
Episode 185, Weather Weekly. Good to be with you here. Thanks for bearing with me here. Took a week off, and it was nice. It was enjoyable. Went on a golf trip, and it was hot. It was real hot. So that was a week ago. But good to be back, and good to be back into the swing of things here for you on this episode, as we are, back in. This is the last full week of July. And I think this might be the last full week for a lot of the kiddos to enjoy summer break. Man, it's summer. What happened? I just feel like we just finished baseball season for the boys, and here we go. But I can assure you, we still have a long way to go before we get rid of any summer heat, which is indicated here in this extended forecast. We'll have that for you in the week ahead. It is for July 22nd, 2024. That's next here on the Weather Weekly. All right, episode 185, Weather Weekly here, the week ahead for July 22nd, 2024. Let's get rolling here for it. The main headlines here, I think you're going to have basically, spotty thunderstorm chances almost daily, certainly for the first half of this week. During the afternoon and evening hours, the very typical summer pattern that we get. We get the heating of the day, and you get these little storms that'll blossom up a little bit, give you some downpours. I don't anticipate any severe weather, so that's the good news as we kind of look ahead to that. Let's get you started here for your Monday, the 22nd. Quiet to start off. Maybe a few morning showers kind of hanging around. There's going to be parts of the state that see some showers from Sunday night, and that we saw that. Some of those may linger on here in the morning hours for Monday. And then by a lot of the day, I think it's going to be partly cloudy. And then those afternoon, and we're thinking mid to late afternoons, like a peak heating of the day, pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And depending on the cloud cover, you could be hanging out in the low 80s. If you get a lot of sunshine, you could be sneaking up in the mid 80s. We're also going to be dialing up the humidity as well, which will kind of help to drive some of those pop-up thunderstorms throughout the area. All right. Monday night, then, we'll kind of see those storm chances dissolve. As we lose the heating of the day during the overnight hours, we'll have lows dipping down to the mid 60s. We'll do it all over again, I think, for Tuesday. Very similar setup. You're going to have partly cloudy skies for much of your Tuesday. It's going to be pretty warm and humid. It is seasonable for this time of year. I guess that's important to mention. 84 is around average for late in July. And then we'll have some pop-up thunderstorm chances, we think, by the afternoon and early evening hours. Those will then go away as we go into the overnight hours. Overnight lows will fall into the mid-60s. Heading into Wednesday, a slightly better chance. You have a deeper, what we call a trough. It's a frontal system that's going to be moving across the state. And so that could trigger more scattered showers and thunderstorms. I don't know if it's going to be widespread, but more numerous, I think, would be the proper term here for you. Again, no severe weather anticipated, but it is going to be muggy out ahead of that. So you're going to have some high water content. And so you could get some pretty significant downpours out of that through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. Wednesday's highs again into the mid 80s. Now, we'll have overnight lows into the mid 60s. I think a lot of that rain will start to slide out of here by the overnight hours. Still got to kind of iron out the timetable of all of that as we were recording this early on into the week. Late in the week, I think we do get a little bit more quiet, it appears. You're going to have some high pressure settling in. Not going to be like what we enjoyed late last week and really for this past weekend when it was really dry air. It was below average temperatures. Is just really ideal. I think we're still going to be seasonably mild, warm. Numbers into the mid 80s as we go into your Thursday. I'm going to go with a partly cloudy sky. I'm going to keep things dry. And overnight lows into the mid 60s. Same thing Friday, sunny skies, highs in the mid 80s, and overnight lows into the mid 60s. And as of right now, the weekend, again, doesn't look very active. We do have, again, high pressure and control, but we're still tapping into Gulf moisture. It's not going to be overly oppressive humidity. And you can tell that because our overnight lows are not holding in the 70s. We are at least getting into the 60s, and we're doing that pretty much every day this week. So you're talking dew points probably into the low to mid 60s. All right. It's humid. It's not overly oppressive, but I think that's probably where we're going to end up being at as we head into Saturday. Sunday, I think we dial up the humidity a bit more, so we'll have highs in the mid 80s and overnight lows into the lower 70s. So then it does get a bit juicy there. So that's how we're going to kind of ramp up the humidity by the tail end of the weekend. In terms of rainfall amounts, because of the isolated nature of all this, it's kind of tough to gauge. I really think you're probably looking at, the 7-day estimates are only going at about a half an inch. Wide's a tenth of an inch to a half an inch at most around the state. Most areas about a tenth to a quarter. But that being said, because of the isolated nature of some of the rain, especially Monday and Tuesday, a bit more scattered on Wednesday. But Monday and Tuesday specifically, if you get under some of these downpours, you could easily, in a week's time, pick up around an inch or two. Depending on how many of these little downpours you see. But that's certainly not going to be a widespread thing that we'll likely see here through this week. So, which is fine. We're doing okay on water right now. We did remove the drought conditions last week from the drought monitor. We'll wait and see how things kind of evolve here coming up this week because we have been pretty dry since that last update. And of course, we'll update that here after the break. We'll also look ahead to the 8 to 14 day outlook as well. And I believe we'll have a look at the month of August. That forecast should be in as well. That's all coming up next here on Weather Weekly. All right, let's talk some numbers here for the month of July. 3.55 inches of rainfall. That's actually on the plus side of 0.36. So like I said, we're doing okay here, even if we ended the month dry, which we won't. But if we ended the month dry, we wouldn't be in too bad of shape. Since June 1st, 5.71, that's still down 2.43, but we have made up a little bit of lost ground. We're behind from last year's 6.63 for the year, 27.75. We're up an inch and a quarter since January 1st. Let's look ahead to the 8 to 14 day outlook. This would take you through the dates of July 29th to August 4th. Pretty strong signal here for above average temperatures. The percentile for basically I-70 and north, we are in the 50 to 60% leaning above for above average, a little bit below that 40 to 50% in the southern half of the state. Precip-wise, we are sitting for most of the state in a 30 to 40% chance of above average precipitation in that same time frame. So it's not as strong, it's the lowest you can go, but it does lean above. So there's some hope there. And the 1 month is out. And a decent signal, when I say decent, we are talking 50 to 60. So that would be likely above, 50 to 60% chance for above average temperatures for the month of August. And there's no strong signals either way. For precipitation, it's equal chances, either going above or below. Precipitation is always really tough to kind of gauge. When you're in a pretty strong drought, it is a little bit easier, but thankfully, since we've kind of resolved that a little bit, I've said on this podcast, droughts feed on themselves. We're dry in some spots, but we're not, danger zone. So that will help a little bit. And so that's why you kind of just get smack dab in the middle there. All right. That'll do it for this week's podcast. Always appreciate your time. If you have any comments, concerns, suggestions, shoot me an email, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. You can also reach out on social media. Marcus Bailey Weather is what you search for on Facebook. I'm also @Marcus Bailey on X and Instagram as well. You can get our forecast 24 hours a day on our website, wishtv.com/weather, and our free Storm Track 8 weather app. And you can catch my forecast Monday through Friday on the TV side starting at 4 a.m. on Wish TV's Daybreak locally in central Indiana. Hope to see you there. While you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon, and God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.